Geoverse Part 1 To Friend is Human by GeodesicDragon Chapter 10 A Mission of Friendship. The 6 friends sat in silence as the ever-free forest passed by beneath them. Twilight looked back the way they came. The forest stretched on as far as her eyes could see. With a sigh, she turned to her friends. "Are we all clear on what we need to do?" she asked. "Yep. We go in there and ask the humans if they want to be friends. If they refuse, then we give them a taste of the elements," said Rainbow Dash, puffing out her chest.
"No, Rainbow,"
Applejack groaned.
"We only use the elements if these humans try to hurt us. If they refuse our offer of friendship, then we try and persuade them to take it."
Dash sighed.
"Oh!"
squealed Pinkie Pie.
"I can offer to throw them a party. We all know no pony can resist my parties."
"They stole from us and you want to throw them a party?" Applejack said bitterly.
"Oh, right! I forgot I did that. That's really mean,"
Pinkie said, her mane deflating a little.
"Come on, girls. Who's to say they're bad?" Fluttershy chimed. "They probably took so surprise because they were hungry."
"Or maybe they did it because they know they're bigger than us and that we wouldn't be able to fight back,"
Dash said frankly.
"Or maybe,"
said Rarity,
"they're scared?"
The others looked at her.
"Explain how,"
said Dash, raising an eyebrow.
"Think about it," Rarity said. "These humans have spent 1,000 years living in the forest. That's plenty of time to forget that the equestrians ever existed."
There was a general muttering of "I guess so" and "maybe" from the others. Rarity, emboldened by her theory, continued talking.
"So, when these humans finally see ponies for the first time, they panic. Let's not forget how Geo reacted when he first met us."
The other 5 ponies nodded.
"So their primitive instincts kick in and they attack. But maybe once they listen to reason, they will want to accept our offer of friendship, and so allow us to begin introducing them to society again, as well as rehabilitate them."
That actually made sense,"
said Dash.
"And what, pray tell, was that supposed to mean?"
Rarity huffed.
"Well, it's usually Twilight who's the egghead."
Dash grinned. The 6 of them shared a laugh before a cough distracted them.
"We're approaching our destination, elements,"
said one of the guards pulling the chariot.
"Get ready to disembark."
Twilight nodded and turned to the others.
"So, are we ready, girls?"
she said with a determined expression.
"Ready!"
came a chorused reply. I had been following the chariot for an hour, and I was tired. I was sweaty, and I was covered in mud. I saw the chariot begin to descend towards the clearing. Sighing happily, I went over and hid behind a tree, ready to surprise my friends. The chariot touched down in the clearing. The elements disembarked, each of them with a look of concern on their face.
"This place looks strangely familiar," said Rarity. "I feel like we've been here before."
"Good luck,"
said one of the guards pulling the chariot.
"And may the princesses watch over you."
With those words, he and his colleague took off, leaving the 6 ponies in the clearing.
"Okay, girls," said Twilight. "Princess Celestia says the human camp is near here, so we need to find it."
"Just tell us what to do, Twilight,"
Dash replied proudly,
"and we'll get it done."
"Okay, Rainbow," replied Twilight. "I need you to fly up and see if you can spot any signs of the camp, campfires, huts, anything."
Rainbow Dash nodded and took to the sky. She hovered high above the trees and scanned the surrounding area. Suddenly, she pointed and shouted down to the others.
"Over there, to the west. I can see a campfire, and it's definitely not one of the Kuras."
"Okay, then every pony, let's go."
The 6 friends started walking. Before they left, Twilight had another look around. Her eyes fell on something on the ground, and she went over to look at it.
"Twilight?"
Fluttershy noticed Twilight's change in direction.
"Where are you going?"
Twilight stood motionless, her eyes fixed on a spot in the grass. She swallowed a lump in her throat and spoke.
"You're right, Rarity,"
she croaked.
"I am?"
asked Rarity.
"About what?" "You said this place looked familiar?" Twilight replied. "I did.
the fashionista said, because it does look familiar. Well, we have been here before, Twilight said, pointing at something on the ground. The 6 ponies gathered around. It was a bloodstain, but instead of red it was now a dull brown. Oh, of course, Rarity chimed. This is where we first met Geo. Yeah, said Twilight.
Don't worry, Sugar Cube,
said Applejack as she gave Twilight a quick hug.
Princess Celestia said she'd make sure he wasn't getting too worked up about ya.
I think it's a bit late for that, came a voice from the trees. I stepped out into the clearing, much to the surprise of my friends. Twilight ran up to me and gave me a hug. What are you doing here? She scolded. I could ask you the same thing, I replied. We're here on a mission for Princess Celestia, she explained. More humans have been found, and she wants us to extend an offering of friendship to them. I thought they were all dead, I asked, clearly confused. So did we, Twilight shrugged. Princess Celestia believes it could be a group who refused to fight with the others and have been living in the forest ever since. Okay then, let's go over and introduce ourselves, I said, starting to walk. I came to a sudden halt as Twilight grabbed my jacket. We have to do this ourselves, she said sadly. Celestia's worried about how they'll react if they see you.
They could be dangerous, I shouted. And I will not let my friends face them on their own. I'm coming with you, like it or lump it. He's just as stubborn as I am, Applejack laughed.
Okay, you can come with us. Twilight smiled and got up on her hind legs to nuzzle my chest. Thank you. The 7 of us had been walking for hours. As we got closer to the camp, we could smell something I hadn't smelled for a long time, and something that made my friends grimace in horror. The smell of freshly cooked meat. The humans in that camp had been capturing the local animals, much to Fluttershy's dismay. I have to admit that the smell made me want to salivate, but I fought the urge and continued walking. Within minutes we had the camp in our sights. The occupants appeared to be home, but were staying inside their huts. Twilight took a few steps forward before I stopped her. Wait, I said. You don't know how they react when they see you. Don't you remember how I was when you first met me? It's okay, she replied with a shake of her head. They saw plenty of ponies when they raided a supply convoy heading to Appaloosa.
Oh, I groaned. Typical human behavior. Take from those who can't defend themselves.
Is every pony ready? Said Twilight. The others nodded.
I'll stay here, I said. But if you need me, let me know.
Okay. Twilight gave me a quick kiss, and she and her friends entered the camp as I watched from behind a tree. Hello, everyone, she announced. There was a shout of panic, followed by a few thuds.
Who's there?
A voice called. My name is Twilight Sparkle, and these are my
Oh, fucking hell, another voice wailed. It's more of those freaking horses. I thought we were done with that shit.
Hey! Yelled Rainbow Dash, her breathing quickening as she stomped a hoof on the ground. We're ponies, not horses!
We don't care, just fuck off!
The voice was a mixture of panic and anger.
This isn't happening, this isn't happening!
I decided to try my luck and walked into the camp.
Come on, fellas, I said. That's no way to talk to a lady. Fuck off, you pony bastard, came the reply.
I'm not a pony, actually, I calmly replied. I'm a human just like you. There was a pause. And if you don't believe me, come out and see for yourself. There was another pause, and then the door to the hut creaked open and a figure emerged with his back to us.
I can't believe this, he said as he turned around. Of all the people in this place, I had to meet you again.
I gasped. You know him? Twilight asked, surprised.
Yes, I replied quietly.
He's the man who shot me.